Hello, this is Reverend J.L. Franklin, President of the Southwest Louisiana Community Coalition for Action. Let me first of all thank you for all of the calls and certainly all of the video responses that you have responded to. We are certainly appreciative and grateful. And let me thank you for the inclusion, for your desire to become a freedom fighter in our organization. And if you would like to join us, those of you who haven't, here's the privilege. Just give us a call at 337-215-5353 if you want to be a freedom fighter right here in our organization. Also, we've had people to contact us. If you're interested in giving a contribution to our organization, you can do that, and we will certainly appreciate it. And might I say to you that every dime of it will go towards us remaining on the front line in the fight right here in our own backyard. And so if you're interested in sending us a contribution, you can do so to the Southwest Louisiana Community Coalition for Action, Inc., P.O. Box 836, Lake Charles, Louisiana 70602. Again, to the Southwest Louisiana Community Coalition for Action, P.O. Box 836, Lake Charles, Louisiana 70602. And then let me, of course, give our staff who make it possible for these videos. Thank you, for a big shout out to you. Now, let's move right along. The president's viewpoint today is, of course, wake up, my people. Donald Trump and the 2020 election. Believe it or not, the presidential election is only a year and a half away. But before we talk about the 2020 election, let's just reminisce to the 2016 election. You know, of course, that over 137 million people voted in that 2016 election. Hillary Clinton received over 60 million votes, and of course, Donald Trump received 3 million less than her. Hillary Clinton, she won the popular vote. Donald Trump received 279 electoral votes. Hillary Clinton received 228 votes. 30 states leaned toward Republican, and then, of course, there were 20 states that went Democrat. Now, the swing states were the states that influenced the outcome of that election. Trump received 58% of the white vote. Hillary Clinton received 88% of the black vote. And then Hillary Clinton held a 36-point lead over Trump with Hispanic voters. Now, what we always like to do here is give you information, research, and of course, data from the U.S. Census Bureau stated that in essence, black voter turnout fell in 2016. Let me say that again. Black voter turnout dipped. It fell in 2016, even as a record number of Americans cast votes. It stated that black voter turnout rate declined for the first time, wow, in 20 years in a presidential election, falling from 59.6% in 2016 after reaching a record of 66.6% in 2012. The 7 percentage point decline from the previous presidential election is the largest on record for blacks. Now, you remember those two states? There were two battleground states, North Carolina, Florida. Fewer African Americans than expected turned out to vote for Hillary Clinton. Now, wake up. That's right. Wake up, my people. The presidential election is just around the corner. And so far, you've seen it, I'm sure. There are at least 22 Democratic candidates, all vying to beat Donald Trump. This President Donald Trump. I mean, you know the things that he's against: civil rights. He's against voters' rights. census, which is very important for us, Census 2020 is proof of that. Because here's what President Trump is doing. He's pushing for the inclusion of a citizenship question on the 2020 census questionnaire. It's a move that the NAACP, the Urban League, the Louisiana Community Coalition for Action, the Southwest Community Coalition for Action, and of course there are other groups. Here's what we're doing. Believe what his purpose is to intimidate communities of color and immigrant communities from participating in that count. And so here's what we all have to do as African Americans and as a race of people. We have to fight. As people of color, we have to fight to block the citizenship question. This president is not only a racist, but he's a liar. Again, we give you information for, it has been said that in over, 835 days since this president has been in office, watch this startling truth, that he has made over 10,111 false or misleading claims. Let me say it to you another way, that since Trump has been in office, he's told 10,000 and over 10,000, 1,111 lies. You know what? He's truly the lying king. If you don't believe me, just do a fact check on the list of lies that he's told. And you know what's interesting? What's interesting is that this country, at least 46% of this country, seem to be stuck on stupidity. And they believe, 46% of this country believe that he's doing a good job. He's talking about making America great again. Well, let's just break that down for a moment. We know what it means. We know the code language. You know what the code language is? Make America white again, or make America hate again. The Democratic Party, they now have control of the House. We've seen and we have read what is called the Barr summary of the Mueller report. William Barr, who is the president's attorney general, not really acting as the U.S. attorney general. And of course, you've seen it this week, that the House basically have held him in contempt. That's his story. All right, so they're blocking hearings and blocking people from the president's cabinet from testifying. And why? And they're blocking them from producing requested records. The president does not want Mueller to testify because it will really expose what's in the Mueller report, especially concerning this obstruction of justice matter. That's what's cited in the report that the special counsel Mueller left to Congress to do. That does not, and hear me well, it does not exonerate the president. And so this president, as we all know, he's been a divider, not a uniter. I read something the other day that the Pew Research Center did a survey. Here's an interesting survey. They said that 56% of all Americans think that President Donald Trump, has made race relations worse. That's right. 56% of all Americans believe that President Donald Trump has made race relations worse. Most Americans say that it's now more common for people to express racist or racially insensitive views. In fact, 4 in 10 say that it's more acceptable. Civil rights cases. It's not this president's set of priorities. The judicial system. Have you noticed what's happening? He's trying to turn the clock back. Have you noticed all of the conservative federal judges that he's appointing? even against the wishes of Democratic senators. This is ludicrous. Education, housing, health care. You know what he's trying to do with health care. He's trying daily to unravel, to completely kill Obamacare. So that's why we have to wake up and we have to prepare ourselves to vote, because your vote matters. Let me say that again. Your vote really matters. If you don't believe me, look around. That's why white politicians are trying to court you, because they know the power and they know the value of the black vote. New York, U.S. Representative Hakeem Jeffries said it this way. In fact, he said it well. He said that when, as the African American community goes, so does the Democratic Party. Nikisha Grant. Nikisha is a political scientist at Howard University, and here's what she said. She said that if black voters do show up in a block, it's going, that's right, to make a big difference. If you don't believe me, then you can ask Alabama Senator Doug Jones. Black members of the caucus, during his race in 2017, many of them he called upon, and one in particular was Senator Cory Booker. Senator Cory Booker traveled the whole state of Alabama on behalf of Senator Jones. And of course, he did win that race in 2017. And so Senator Doug Jones has credited African American voters, and particularly black women, for helping him to win. I have to say a word right here. White politicians, whether it's in national elections, whether it's in our state elections, whether it's in our local elections, white Democratic politicians, they need, can I say that again, because I really want you to hear me, they need the black vote to win. And so we have to be careful. That's why I've often said, so often, they dance with us before the election, and then when they get elected, they tend to cut the music off. But we have to come alive in our community, because as you well know, all politics are local. Listen, this is Reverend J.L. Franklin, President of the Southwest Louisiana Community Coalition for Action. And if you would like to become a freedom fighter by simply joining our organization, here's what you have to do. All you have to do is give us a call. The number you can call us, 337-215-5353. Again, that number, if you want to join our organization, 337-215-5353. Or if you would like to send us a contribution to help us so that we might remain on the front line in the fight right here in our own backyard, then simply you can address that check to the Southwest Louisiana Community Coalition for Action. Here's our address: P.O. Box 836, Lake Charles, Louisiana 70602. The Southwest Louisiana Community Coalition for Action, let me tell you what we're doing. We're building a community of justice and equality for all. Listen, have a great week. We'll see you next week. God bless.